This is your evening news bulletin for today, Tuesday the 31st day of July in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The Caribbean Court of Justice today agreed with the courts in Guyana and found that the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, GAWU, and the NACI were adequately consulted before the government's decision to close the Rose Hall and Enmore Sugar Estates back in 2017. The two unions, which represent most of the displaced sugar workers, had moved to the CCJ with their challenge to the closure of the estates after the High Court and the Court of Appeal in Guyana had both ruled that they were adequately consulted on the closures. In a statement this afternoon, the CCJ said it agreed with the lower courts in Guyana that there was sufficient consultation, though it did not consider the Commission of Inquiry held in 2015 on the viability of Guyanese to be part of the consultation process. The court is of the view that the subsequent stakeholder meetings were sufficient consultation. There were 3 meetings prior to the announcement of the final decision, and at one of them, GAWU made a 2-hour presentation on the future of Guyanese. The process, according to the court, was not perfect, but satisfied the legal duty to consult in the circumstances. The court also found that there was sufficient evidence on record to show that the applicants had a reasonable notice of Guyanese's intentions to close, the reasons for closure, and the number and categories of workers affected as legally required. The court declined to address whether the right to work enshrined in the Constitution was breached, as this allegation stemmed from the argument that there was a breach of the duty to consult. Having found that there was no such breach, there was no need to make a determination on the constitutional issue, the court found. There will be no costs in the matter. Stay with us, more news in a moment.
Summer is for selfies with lots of data from GTT. Activate a 3-day or more data plan to get up to 35% extra data and a chance to win big. LOL this summer with GTT, Guyana's #1 network.
Summer is for friends, weekly prizes, and super summer getaways from Caribbean Airlines. So top up $1,000 or more and get 25% bonus credit plus a chance to win big. LOL this summer with GTT, Guyana's #1 network.
Welcome back. On the eve of Emancipation Day celebrations, the African Cultural and Development Association, ACDA, believes it's time to move beyond emancipation and independence to economic freedom, social justice, racial respect, and harmony. In its Emancipation Day message, ACDA said, "Let Emancipation 2018 witness the beginning of Guyanese truly living our motto of one people, one nation, one destiny." It believes to get that done, all Guyanese must honor the sacrifices of all of the ancestors. ACDA said we must honor the 473,000 Africans who died to build Guyana during 200 years of enslavement, and they should be honored by providing reparations to their descendants. And the Indian indentured servants must also be honored according to ACDA. It said together with freed Africans in the villages they bought, they also sacrificed to sustain Guyana after emancipation. According to ACDA, Guyana will soon become an oil-producing nation, and our political, cultural, and economic environments will drastically change. That new emancipation should be about equity, equal rights, equal access, and equal opportunity for all Guyanese, regardless of race, creed, culture, religion, or political affiliation, the group stated. Today we went out on the streets and spoke to some Guyanese about emancipation and what it means to them.
Well, basically, for me, emancipation speaks of a time for me, freedom. Also a time of relaxation and a time for rest. A time for relaxation and a time for rest.
Emancipation means a lot to me. Being from an interracial marriage, we plan to take the kids out to the park and let them get to know, be part of the culture and stuff.
And I'm enjoying the African village today. Tomorrow, I want to be out there with my dolls and other stuff.
Several activities are being held across the country this evening and tomorrow to mark Emancipation 2018. Let's tell you now that the government has announced that it is putting plans in motion for the establishment of a homestead settlement area for the 206 confirmed Venezuelans who are occupying areas in Barima-Waini. Minister of Citizenship Winston Felix announced yesterday that the resettlement area will allow the Venezuelans to be self-reliant.
Once the homestead or the community of displaced Venezuelans is established, then the next thing is to guide them into areas in which they can sustain themselves. In the immediate outcome is that we want to see them well properly settled, and they must be able to sustain themselves.
Mr. Felix said the immediate outcome is that the government wants to see them properly settled and they must be able to sustain themselves. He did not say how soon the resettlement area will be put in place for the Venezuelan refugees, but noted that the government committee overlooking the issue will continue to play a role in lending whatever assistance is necessary to those in the Region 1 area. The committee has also been working alongside the United Nations Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, the International Organization for Migration, and the United Nations Human Rights Council to determine areas of collaboration and support. And finally this evening, the opposition People's Progressive Party is not pleased that one of its members of parliament has been referred to the Committee of Privileges, which could hand down disciplinary action. PPP Member of Parliament Harry Gill was yesterday referred to the committee following his scathing criticism in a letter on the Speaker of the National Assembly, in which he accused the Speaker of bias and inconsistencies in his ruling. The House voted to send the opposition member to the Committee of Privileges after a motion was moved by Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu. In that motion, the Prime Minister said Gill, by his actions, was attacking the Speaker and the entire National Assembly as a body. He said parliamentary rules have systems in place to address concerns. In a statement last evening, the PPP said it will challenge what it described as the atrocity at every available forum, adding that the party will not only do so to protect its member of parliament, but to also protect the rights and freedoms of every citizen of this country. Yesterday, the opposition chief whip Gill Teixeira loudly protested the decision by stating that Guyana's laws allow for freedom of expression, and if the Speaker and the National Assembly want to send members to the Committee of Privileges for statements made outside the House, it should send all members. The Committee of Privileges deals with matters that affect the powers and privileges of the National Assembly. It is made up of the Speaker and members from both sides of the House. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.